In a historic moment for the Roman Catholic Church, Cardinal Robert Francis, Prevost of the United States, was elected Pope Leo XIV on May 8, 2025, following the death of Pope Francis. The election took place during a solemn conclave at the Vatican, where 115 cardinals from around the world gathered to choose the next spiritual leader of over 1.3 billion Catholics. The new pope, who chose the name Leo XIV, was inspired by Pope Leo XIII, who developed Catholic social teachings. He is known for his strong theological background, outspoken nature, and a clear desire to take bold stands on global issues. In one of his first public statements, Pope Leo condemned Russia's invasion of Ukraine, calling it a true invasion, imperialistic in nature, where Russia seeks to conquer territory for the reason of power. His decisive tone has already distinguished him from his predecessor, Pope Francis, and signaled a shift in the Vatican's approach to international affairs. Before his election as Pope, Prevost was a friar of the Order of St. Augustine in 1977 and ordained as a priest in 1982. He was later elected Prior General of the Order of St. Augustine from 2001 to 2013. After, he returned to Peru as Bishop of Chiclayo from 2015 to 2023. In 2023, Pope Francis appointed him prefect of the Dicastery for Bishops and president of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America and made him a cardinal. He was born in the United States and a naturalized citizen of Peru, making him the first pope from North America, the first from Peru, and the second from the Americas after Pope Francis. As a cardinal, he was involved in various issues including climate change, global migration, church governance, and human rights. Pope Francis passed away on April 21st, 2025 at the age of 88, the day after Easter. Pope Francis made history as the first Jesuit pope and the first pope from the Americas. His papacy was marked by compassion, humility, and an emphasis on issues such as climate change, poverty, and the inclusion of marginalized groups. Unfortunately, Francis's handling of the war in Ukraine drew criticism, particularly from the Ukrainians. Many felt he failed to clearly identify Russia as the aggressor, instead making calls for peace that some saw as overly neutral. His references to Russians and Ukrainians as brothers in the midst of a violent invasion were viewed by some as insensitive. In contrast, Pope Leo XIV's early statements on the conflict reflected a more assertive stance. His direct condemnation of Russia has been praised by Ukrainian leaders and seen as a shift towards moral clarity in church diplomacy. The selection of Pope Leo XIV comes at a time when the world is facing multiple crises, from geopolitical conflict to climate disasters to rising inequality. As Pope, Leo XIV is expected to take a strong role not just in spiritual leadership, but also in shaping the Church's response to global events such as rising tensions, turmoil, and conflicts that can be seen in the news every day. Pope Leo also inherits several challenges within the Church itself, including the ongoing debates about LGBTQ+ inclusion, the role of women, the response to clergy abuse scandals, and declining church attendance in many Western nations. Whether he will push reforms or maintain traditional positions remains to be seen. As the 267th successor to St. Peter, Pope Leo XIV now carries the responsibility of leading the world's largest Christian denomination. His first official address from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica was met with cheers, prayers, and curiosity. Observers noted his confident tone, his emphasis on truth and justice, and his deep concern for the suffering of the people around the world. Over the coming weeks, Pope Leo is expected to appoint key advisors and begin outlining his visions for the Church. His early actions suggest a papacy that will be more outspoken on political and ethical issues than in recent years. For Catholics around the world, and for many watching the Church's influence on global affairs, Pope Leo XIV represents both continuity and change, a new voice for an ancient faith speaking into the complex changes of the 21st century.